Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. It's been a while, it feels like. Let me get you guys up over here. Okay, we're good. We're good everywhere. But welcome in. How's everybody doing today? I don't even know what day it is. Wednesday? Literally, it's been like the longest week for me, I feel like. But welcome in, everyone. It's good to see you. Welcome back to the channel. This is Titanium Built, and I'm your host, Tanya. So on this channel, we do break down true crime cases, court filings, documents, timelines, all the strategies that they try to use, in court. We go over all of that. That way you guys have a better understanding, what's happening and why it matters. So tonight we're going to be diving back into the Idaho 4 case because we can't seem to get away from it, 3 years later, and we're still things to talk about. So this case obviously was involving, the 4 Idaho college students and of course, BK, Brian Kohlberger. So I'm glad you guys are all here. Let me say hi to you real quick. Hello, everybody. It's good to see everyone. Hey, Kitsy Cats. Hey, Ladybug. Hey, 80s. How you been? FBI over Turvey. Yes. Hey, Princess. They actually came out with like a little article, and I was like, oh, this would be good to read. Actually, I didn't even unpin it. Look at you, Catherine, becoming a new member. You were already a member before. You just must have renewed. Thank you. Oh, no. You know what? I didn't realize that I changed my PIN number the other day. Am I getting old, or am I getting old? Like, because I thought it was asking me to change like my code for like when I go into, like my phone and don't use my face, like you'll use a 4-digit code or whatever. I thought it meant that. So that's the code I put in. And I was at the store the other day. I went to buy something. It was like declined. I was like, what? And so I just used my other card. I didn't think, I was like, well, that's weird. Tried to use it again. Declined again. I said, oh, I think I know what the problem is. It was me. Hey, Moose, Moxie, how you doing? Finally catching alive. Hey, Lee. Yeah, if you guys don't mind, hit the like button. Well, there's Tom. Look at that. There's baby girl, too. Hola. Wait, what's that dog doing back there? That dog's staring at the... You're not in trouble. You don't go put yourself in the corner. She's literally in the corner. She put herself there. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Tiff. Welcome in. Oh, I've been so busy this week. Oh, Ladybug, I've been so busy. Real quick, I'll tell you about my busy week. I've been to 3 doctor's appointments. Today, I woke up 5:30 for an 8 o'clock appointment. Yeah. Left my house at... Okay, so last night I always look up like how long it takes to get somewhere before, like the night before, just like so I know for sure. It's an hour and 17 minutes. I woke up this morning and looked at my phone and it said an hour and 30 minutes. And I had to get gas. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be late. So I'm rushing and it keeps telling me to pull up on all these like these different, it wasn't highways. They were like, like little towns off of the highway. And I'm like, why is it telling me to do this? So then I'm really freaking out. So I'm calling Vincent and I'm like, get me a bird in the air. I need to know what's going on, like overhead. So I ended up getting stopped in traffic for over an hour. And I was like, should I just call and cancel? So I called and I was like, can you still see me? And of course he was like, yes. He's my Botox guy. He was like, of course. He does the headache, Botox. So yeah. So he was like, if it's as long as it's before 5 o'clock, that's what he told me today. He's like, as long as it's before 5 o'clock, I'll get you in. And I'm like, oh, I'll be there 8:30. But it was like I was supposed to be there early. Like it was crazy. And so it's been a lot of doctor's appointments this week. And then on top of working out, because I'm trying to stay fit, it's been tiring, I'll tell you. But your girl's been looking cute, though. I'll tell you that. Been wearing my little 2-piece outfits I've got. You got to do something to make yourself want to go to the gym or wake up at 5:30 in the morning, right? No people until 10. I know. I was like, wow, why did I do that to myself? Let's go get shot up with some needles, at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's fun. So tonight we're going to go over some of the evidence that prosecutors were, that they believed tied Kohlberger, to the murders, including forensic evidence, digital evidence, and witness testimony. And then we'll compare that to the defense strategy and like kind of like what their expert Brent, whatever his name is, Turvey was saying, and then we'll go over, of course, again that we've already went over Ann Taylor's statement, but we'll see whose statement, who do we believe? Who do we believe? Because we've got 3 stories going here. We've got a lot of people. We got a lot of people talking. So, well, thank you. OJ did do it. I can't do mornings that early. I like to go early. I like to get it over with. If I'm driving or riding either one over an hour, I'd rather just get it out of the way. And I always just treat myself to go to a Target afterwards. So I was like, either way, I'm going up there. There's Super Target episode. Didn't really like it though. So whether you follow this case from the beginning or you're just catching up, the stream will break down a little bit of the case for you. If you guys are new to this case and you're like, I've never heard of the Idaho 4, which I mean, I don't think anybody in here is going to say that, but if you are one of those people, let us know in the chat and we'll get you a little synopsis of the case. So it's good to see everybody though. Feels like it's been a while. Okay, let's see I don't even know where I want to begin. There's just so much. There is so much. Okay. So if you don't know who Brent Turvy is, I keep on calling him Brett instead of Brent, whatever. According to court filings and later statements from Kohlberger's defense team and also a book that's come out, he was retained. Well, he didn't say this, so let's not say the book. Let's say Ann Taylor. He was retained solely for the purpose to provide an opinion about the crime scene. That was it. He was not hired as like a DNA analyst, digital forensics expert, a cell phone expert, none of that. And then the defense, publicly said as much. It was limited to the crime scene and nothing else. So he is saying, I was the defense's, expert witness. It just comes off like when he says that, like that's all he has to say. And then anything else that he says after that, everybody's going to believe that he's just an expert in that field, whatever he talks about. And he's not. He was just there to look at the crime scene. Now he'll tell you different. Oh, thanks, Tiff. So, where was I at? I don't need this anymore, I don't think. I was going to go over the Dateline leak. So, because I was going to go over that in the beginning. Actually, let's do that first. Because I think everyone kind of knows about it. It's a couple of days old. I'm a little behind, okay? But we'll go over this if you guys haven't heard about it. You guys remember, when was that? July? I have it pulled up. Okay, May. Close enough. And so May 2025, an episode of Dateline aired, and it was titled The Terrible Night on King Road. And I think it's on the Patreon, but everyone, I think, pretty much watched it. But the episode included a significant amount of information that had not yet been made public. So that was a big problem because this court has had a non-dissemination order, on it, a gag order. So they had talked about like surveillance footage, showing like the car. They showed that surveillance footage from 1112, I believe, showing, Kohlberger's car at the crime scene. There was photos allegedly taken from, Kohlberger's cell phone that was shown. Those were beauties. There was details about his internet searches and like his online activity, but we don't know if those were true. But then the FBI cell phone was tower analysis was one. There was just a bunch of different things, like stuff about the victims that wasn't already put out there. That was put out there. There was a good bit. So what was the big deal was the gag order, right? Nobody was supposed to talk about anything in this case, and somebody was talking. And Judge Hippler did insinuate in a way that he thought that it might have been coming from the prosecution. And so they are still, they're investigating that crap. They ain't messing around. They are not messing around. Hey, Kathleen. That was my grandma's name. I was like, what was her name? I remember her maiden last name. Couldn't remember her name the other day. So welcome in. That's true. Tracy, yeah, that could be. I mean, he could be an expert and all, but I mean, that he was only supposed to look at the crime scene. I mean, that's all like she showed him evidence, but she didn't show him, I don't think, evidence that wasn't pertaining to the crime scene. You know what I mean? Like, the way that he's kind of out there saying it. I feel like he's like a Howard Bloom Jr. Blum, or how you're going to say his name. That's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of him. I don't know. I'm sorry, guy, but you do. And it's just not good. Like, and then like, okay, so okay, I don't know. If you're an expert witness, right? If you are an expert witness and you go into courtrooms and you give your testimony, I think that you should hold yourself at a high standard. Like, I think the bar should be really, really high on your conduct and how you should act in any court hearing, any court case that you're covering, or you're in, or anything. I think that if there is a non-dissemination order in place, or you signed an MDA or whatever it was that you signed, that you wouldn't talk about it, you shouldn't talk about it. Like, I mean, I think that that's just, who's gonna trust you, right? Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to work with them personally, and he was still contracted to keep his mouth shut, and he couldn't. And then he gets like this letter, Ann Taylor says something like she finally speaks. And instead of him being like, oh, shoot, maybe I should not say any more because I want to maybe work with her in the future. Nope. He goes and he's like, what podcast will have me? Anybody? That's what he did. So this is about the leak, though, and it says a criminal investigation into evidence leaks suspected of violating a court-issued gag order in the murder case against Brian Kohlberger is ongoing after it was referred to the Ada County Sheriff's Office, according to 3 people contacted about the inquiry. Because, at the end of the trial, I kind of thought they were just going to let it go. Personally, I'm kind of glad that they're not, though. Matthew Taddicken, a veteran member of the Sheriff's Office, last listed as a detective in 2023, is investigating. In more recent years, he has worked part-time for the department as an internal affairs project coordinator, according to the Sheriff's Office employee roster. Wouldn't you, I don't know, have someone like out of the department do that? I don't know. In pursuit of the source or sources of the alleged leak to NBC's Dateline, Taddicken has requested interviews with at least some of those who had access to the digital files that appeared in a May 2025 episode about the Moscow College student murder case. 2 defense experts in the case told the Idaho Statesman. Wonder who the 2 defense experts were that told the Idaho Statesman that. Was it you that talked, Brent Turvy? Were you the Dateline leak, Turvy? Oh, Kathleen, I should have stayed away from rush hour. It wasn't rush hour. It was a whole, they blocked off the whole highway. There was an accident and they're already doing like something at one spot, like road work, and they had all blocked off. And then the second, like after that there was a car accident. I was like, oh, that's great. Perfect. But it was on the news. So like they knew I wasn't lying. I wonder who those 2 defense experts were. Okay. A different Sheriff's Office investigator also reached out last month to an attorney working on behalf of the families of 2 of the victims in the case. Oh, there it is. Brent Turvy, a forensic scientist who worked with Kohlberger's public defense team, has so far declined such an interview, he said. Oh my Jesus. No, no, he didn't. When was this wrote? This was wrote May 5th. Okay. Now listen to this. No, he didn't. He's hold on. The dogs are gonna bark. There's a dog barking. Scared me. Hold on. She just wants to be heard. You don't need to bark. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So this little liar, he says right here, Brent Turvy, a forensic scientist who worked with Koberger's public defense team, has so far declined such an interview, he said, even though he's been told by lead defense attorney Ann Taylor that he can participate. He argues this would breach a confidentiality agreement he remains bound by. Like, no, so are you kidding? Like, are we getting gaslit? We're getting gaslit. We're getting gaslit. Okay, so he's over here saying, well, I can't talk to you guys because that would just that no, I know that's just we having it like that NDA, nope, attorney-client privilege kind of deal. Nope, But then you've already wrote a book with somebody before this. Like this is a whole ass lie. Like this was in when was this? May 5th. When did Anne write her little letter? Does it say? She wrote it April 28th. So this is after the book and then after Anne, had wrote out her thing. But he was just on a podcast last night talking about the shit. Like, like this is like what? This is so like yeah, so he is a defense he is supposed to be a defense expert, right? He was supposed to testify about the crime scene. But he's been going around just testifying about or talking about it all, here, there, and everywhere. But in here, he's just like, yeah, I'm not participating. I can't participate with the Idaho Statesman. Sorry, guys, that would be a breach of my contract. But he's been talking when he wrote that book. That book's been in the making. I don't know how long. It had months. It had to at least been a year, maybe, to write a book. And then he was just on he's been on podcasts and he was just on one last night on the 12th. So Cy Ray, a digital forensic expert and former police officer, also worked as an expert for Kohlberger's defense team. He told the Statesman that he has spoken with Tandikin more than once since late last year as part of the leak investigation. The Dateline episode revealed previously unreleased information, including surveillance footage near the crime scene, a variety of photos from Kohlberger's cell phone, and specifics about the injuries to the 4 University of Idaho students killed in the November 2022 knife attack. The victims were undergraduates, Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan, both 21, and Xander Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, both 20. And towards the end of this month, it'll be Maddie May Day. I've been thinking about that actually all month. Okay, so where was I? Oh, the 3 women lived in an off-campus home on King Road with 2 female roommates who were unharmed, and Chapin stayed over for the night with Kernodle, his girlfriend. At the time, Kohlberger, now 31, was a graduate student at nearby Washington State University, just 9 miles west of the U of I campus over the state line, Pullman, Washington. A number of people for the defense and prosecution had access to the information presented in the 2-hour special of Dateline. And I remember that because I thought this wasn't the one. We don't go there. I swear this was the episode that I watched on the plane home, but that can't be right because the dates don't match up. I don't know. It's really weird. So it says, I think Cy Ray is helping. That he said he's helping with the investigation. If anyone subject to the gag order in the case was suspected of having violated it, they could be charged with criminal contempt of court. It's probably the most expensive misdemeanor case in the history of Ada County, he told the statesman by phone. Trying to investigate this was probably tough. Leander James, an attorney who represents the Chapin family and Mogan's mother and stepfather, Karen and Scott Laramie, confirmed that the Ada County Sheriff's Office recently touched base with him about its investigation into the leak. Ada County Sheriff's Office declined for a comment. Okay. The court's gag order prevented members of the prosecution and defense from making public statements about the high-profile quadruple homicide case outside of the court. The restrictions included anyone associated with each side, including members of law enforcement for the prosecution. In response to the disclosure of case details in the Dateline episode, presiding Judge Stephen Hippler welcomed the appointment of a special prosecutor to investigate such a week later. In open court, sorry. Those legal documents were filed under seal in June, and the results of that special investigation remain unclear to the public. Because we don't belong anywhere. We don't get to we don't get to hear all the good stuff. Nothing good. Look at Kohlberger over there. Look at the women that were like, I mean, they look, they even, I mean, they're like down at Bricka Barlow over there. She's like, man, I don't know why I took this job. That's what she looks like she's saying. So Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson and retired Moscow Police Chief James Fry also previously confirmed the existence of the special investigation to the statesman. Dateline and me, I'm not happy with them, Fry said in a prior interview. I hope they find out who did that. So Dateline, and I don't know if he's meaning like, I don't know. Okay, I said Sandra Barrows, the trial court administrator, she declined to comment, probably because she can't. Kohlberger took a deal and pled guilty in July 2025, accepting a life sentence for each of the 4 victims. And it says the leaks, Steve Gonzalez said that he opposed the plea agreement. The leaks in the Dateline episode helped upend the chance for a trial and contributed to motivating the plea deal. He told the statesman he supports a criminal investigation into the leaks. Well, yeah, I think that everyone would kind of want to know. I would want to know. I mean, who told who what? Kathleen, they do actually get kind of more vocal whenever I talk about Idaho 4. Did everyone hear about the appeal that he's getting a new trial, Alec Murdaugh, and we'll be doing it again. We'll be watching it again. Here we go. Are you ready, Nancy? Because she was down there. I need to get down to South Carolina. Okay. So I just wanted to read that to you guys really quick. So they are looking into the leak. They want to know who did it still. I mean, will they find out ever who did it? I don't know. I mean, was it somebody from the FBI? Like, okay. Could this have been, do you remember when the person videotaped Brian Kohlberger in the prison? And a lot of people thought, and me and myself included, thought maybe this person videotaping, because it was somebody that took their phone out and like videotaped the screen. That's how they got the video of Kohlberger. And it was like, and everyone was like, well, maybe that was like somebody they were just trying to like impress their wife or their spouse or like whatever, you know? And they're like, oh, look, we got Brian Kohlberger in here. And then the spouse was like, oh my gosh, look, Brian Kohlberger. And then just like, you know, spread like wildfire. Maybe like the Dateline leak is something like that. You know, like somebody just is stupid. I mean, they should be punished for it. Of course, they really should. But maybe that, you know, they just were like, oh, I could give you information that no one else knows. And then you'll definitely know I'm working the case or something. I don't know. People would do things for stupid reasons all the time. What are you doing? She's over there bullying my basket. Hey, no, you don't take that blanket out there. She wants the blanket. Sorry. That dang dog. Just want that blanket. Don't you take my blanket out there? Wow, promise. Okay. So we do have some. I think this one had stuff about the prosecution. Okay. Let's see. Where was I going? I guess it wasn't there. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm going to go through like 7 different different areas of like the evidence that I think that the prosecution would have, kind of said like what their side would have been, and then what if Turvey was there on, for all of this on the stand, what he would have said. I only have a few. If you guys can think of any more, let me know in the chat. I know she shouldn't have been talking. She's dumb. Tracy, I don't know why she talked. We don't got no Judge Newman. He was man, I don't want a trial if we don't have Judge Newman. Just don't. Okay. So I'll just leave the screen like this. Okay. So the murders occurred. This is what I think the prosecution said. So actually, let's go up to number 1 because I wrote these out. So the number of attackers was one of the things that Turvey was going to bring up. The prosecution, and we've read this in court documents, the state alleged that Kohlberger alone committed the murders. We now know that, Brian Kohlberger himself said that. So Turvey, Brent, was said he was going to reportedly maybe conclude that the evidence was consistent with the possibility that one or more persons, more than one person, committed this, this crime. If the jurors accepted that, it would undermine the prosecution's, like their whole theory, kind of their central theory of him being the only person that committed these murders. And I think a lot of people were thinking like that. I personally I could see, whenever the FBI says they did their timed runs, I could see it being that fast. You're going in with, a mission or whatever you will. You have your purpose. That was his time to shine, I guess. Then they would went over the timeline, even if like all of these aren't, in his specialty, we're going through them. So the murders occurred in that narrow time frame after the intruder entered and before leaving the neighborhood. Turvey was going to question whether a single attacker could move through the house like they did, kill all 4 of those people, control the scene and exit, so quickly without really any DNA on him. Then there, the wound patterns and the scene reconstruction, which he would have seen, Turvey would have only seen, I guess, pictures of that. Maybe video. I don't know. Maybe Anne went in. Well, yeah, I think when she went in, didn't she have a video camera in her hand outside, or was that a camera? Do you guys remember that? There's a picture of Anne. I think it's a camcorder. Why do I feel like, do they even use camcorders anymore? Am I thinking like, I'm about to find that picture. Oh, no, it was somebody with her that was doing it. Okay, there she is. Where's the woman that was with her? Because I remember somebody had like, what was it? Oh, here it is. It is a camcorder. Oh, but damn, they still make them. Yeah. Remember, because everyone thought that was Brian Kohlberger's sister. I didn't. And I'm like, do you really? Yeah, they became really good friends, and she's on the defense's team now. She's working for the defense. Our phones are camcorders now. I know. That's why I was like, do they still make those? Because I was just like, because I had one. But he's gonna so the next one was, the wounds and everything like that, and the prosecution was gonna say that the injuries were consistent or are consistent with one assailant using a fixed blade knife, right? Then Turvey's gonna come on in and, as a crime scene reconstruction specialist, this is where he would have maybe shined. He would have analyzed the wound locations, and severity of those, the defensive patterns, the victims in proportion to each other, and the possible movement during the attacks. So he could have even used the dollhouse that Anne called it. I forgot about that. Yeah. Look at her. She's just smiling. Look at her. You know why she's smiling? She's like, oh, I'm going to get paid for this. We're about to get a payday. I don't even know. Who is this girl, I wonder, with? We never saw her after that. She was there and then she wasn't. I guess she's probably just like their investigator. So the knife sheath, DNA, something that they were going to have to, overcome. The sheath recovered at the scene contained the most direct, forensic link to Brian, obviously. Turvey would later voice concerns about documentation and the handling. He said that in his view, which he's not a cop, an investigator, or he didn't go to school for criminal justice that I know of. Maybe he did, maybe I don't know. But he would say that, that there's issues with how many hands it went through, but it really didn't pass that many people. Like, not that many people. Like, I'm talking about like opening the seal, closing the seal, and writing on the bag. Do you know what I mean? I think it was like one or two. It wasn't that many. And then additional forensic testing. The evidence collected was sufficient to proceed. Prosecution's going to say that. They were going to say that. He stated publicly that he wanted further testing on some items done, including certain hairs, to determine whether they had evidentiary significance. Now, if you went through that house and collected hairs to test, I can't imagine how many hairs were on the floor and furniture of that house. Not even like, just think about Murphy, just the dog, just his hair alone. Like, I don't know. I just think it'd be too much. So then they would do the cell phone cast, FBI, the cast stuff there. Turvey was not on the defense's cell. He wasn't their cell site expert. But his reconstruction theory aligned with broader defense efforts to challenge the prosecution's timeline. He really was biased. Like, he really is biased. Like, and that's the thing that I'm going to show you guys. Like, when you're called to be an expert witness, like, you're not supposed to be biased. You're supposed to look at the evidence and then draw your conclusions, whether that is in favor of the defense and then they use that, or if it's in favor of the prosecution and then the defense, that was the defense's, witness, they're like, okay, we don't need you then. You know what I mean? But you're supposed to give like your unbiased opinion. Well, the dude is biased AF. I mean, him and Brian could be bros. I don't even know, in my opinion. So we have what the state was kind of saying here, and it just talks about the book that came out. I still want to get that book. I was actually talking about it today, but it just says that, the new book reveals Brian Kohlberger's trial defense would have looked like, what, if he hadn't have changed his plea. Now, in my opinion, he didn't change his plea because he was afraid of the death penalty. I think he changed his plea because he didn't want his mama to hear that he killed 4 people. I don't think that he wanted his mama to hear all the stuff that happened in that house that night. And then how he just skirted back over to his house. And I don't think he probably wanted the stuff to come out with WSU, and he probably thought it wouldn't come out. He might have thought that shit ain't gonna come out about me being a TA and being weird to everybody. They're gonna be so focused on me killing 4 people. No, that came out too. It all came out. So it says here that in an exclusive interview with Fox News Digital, Whitcomb, that's the guy that wrote the book, revealed that a defense expert, Turvey, raised serious chain of custody concerns surrounding the sheath found in victim Madison Mogen's bed. It is plausible for someone to argue that the chain of custody would have led to significant problems for the prosecution in presenting evidence of any kind of DNA. Why? And if that were to be excluded, then you have a white car and you have cell phone tower pings. Okay, we're talking about the DNA. Like, I wish we had that picture. I'd have to look through a million pictures. I want to see if I can find it. Like, I wonder if I Google, like, search that. If you hear like a chomping noise, that's just my dog breaker. She likes to chomp sometimes when she's playing. Okay, right here. Okay, I guess I lied. I guess it was in more people's hands than I thought, but not. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it won't let me go that far. Okay. Shoot. I am not paying for you, Idaho statesman. Okay, I got it before it like was like, because I used to be subscribed to that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 6 people. And it was like all on the same date, it looks like. Okay. I'm gonna try to blow it up and then show it to you guys if it'll let me. It won't let me. Oh wait. You guys know I'm horrible at this. Like, I'll never be a real YouTuber. I can't zoom in. It's a MacBook, so that's all it's going to do. Okay. Let me see if I can show this. So it looks like on 11/13, one person had it. That's the person that collected it. I can't read the name. So, and then on the 14th, it looks like maybe one person had it, or two. Maybe that's 2. I think it's 2. It's either 1 or 2. And then 3 on the 16th. But up here, I think there's only 2. And to me, this bag only looks like it's been opened like maybe 1 time. Maybe twice. So, I mean, not all these people obviously opened this bag. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the stickers. Like when I was in school, I remember the bags, but I don't remember these stickers. Like, well, we didn't have them stickers. Right? Yep. PKC. Yeah. He didn't. There's a lot of things. Like even with his, like when he stole his sister's cell phone, I swear to you, it was his dad that called the police on him. It was not his mama. Nope. Not her boy. You know what I mean? Like, not her boy. Okay, did I read all? Oh no, I don't think I did. It says it's plausible for someone to argue that the chain of custody would have led to significant problems for the prosecution in presenting evidence. Okay. Brent Turvy, a criminologist and forensic scientist hired by the defense, said he became aware of the chain of custody issue after filing his expert report to meet a court deadline. Why did why okay, now why you say it like that for? Like, meaning, like, he had to hurry and file it because he had to meet a deadline. To me, that's what it sounds like. Like, he became aware of the chain of custody issue after filing his expert report to meet a court deadline. Like, "Oh, I had to put it in there." Like, "Well, you're not a very good investigator." If this had gone to trial, this piece of evidence should have, by any competent jurist, been ruled inadmissible, he said of the sheet. In most cases, in most jurisdictions, it would be. I'm gonna say no. No. Um, no, it wouldn't. It was found under the body of a murdered victim. It's not like it was out of the bag and, or like, I don't even know, like, you guess you couldn't say if it was out of the bag and thrown around because 2 people had it or maybe took it out, but you gotta take I mean, you just gotta take their investigator's word. They signed on the bag, they signed off on the bag, whoever opened it. It doesn't look like that, it says right here, actually. It says, hold on, the problem with chain of custody form is supposed to be something that is creative live. So if I take a bag of evidence and I retrieve it, I sign that I retrieved it, put my signature on it, the date, that kind of stuff. Yeah, of course you do. And then when you put it back, you put what time you put it back. It says the evidence bag appears to have been filled in twice, once on the bag itself and later on a sticker attached to the front. No, once, okay, was this down here? It must be right here. We're talking about 116. And then they have the chain of custody sticker right here. Maybe that's what they mean. Now I wonder if these are the same names. It doesn't look like it by like the handwriting, but I can't tell for sure. This looks like it says like, I don't know. My eyes aren't that good. No, they haven't done anything with the house site. Wish they would. I personally, me humbly, I think that they should put, even though it's not on campus, technically, they should put a emergency phone there for anybody that lives in that area to, campus phone. And they should put just like maybe like a couple benches, maybe some trees. Don't even do the benches if you don't want to. Just plant some trees and flowers. Make it into a parking lot. That's what the kids said they wanted. I mean, the kids, like they said it's hard to, go up that hill in the wintertime. Make it safe for them. So I guess I can kind of see what he's saying about like, writing on the bag. And then I'm going to give him that. I'm going to give him one more. One more thing. I'm going to give it to him. I don't see a time on the bag. And then one more. I'm going to give him one more. So that's 2. I'm going to give him one more. Why wasn't this in the bag? Why does it say 11/16? Why wasn't but it was collected on the 13th? Like, I don't like that either. So, but I don't know what's on the other side of this bag, or there's documentation that says the reasoning why. We haven't seen that documentation yet. Wow, fake Vincent, putting you in timeout. Fake Vincent. You'll know if it's Vincent. It says Vincent is here or something like that. And plus he'll say hello. I mean, so. Okay. Wait, I didn't even show you this is like the more zoomed in version, but it's not very zoomed in. Like I can't just roll my mouse like most creators can, which sucks. There was something I wanted to read here. Oh, okay. So, basically, Brent was saying a couple things, So the key claims regarding the investigation, I think we went over the mishandling of evidence, fabricated evidence, theory of multiple suspects, posing of victims, he said. Actually, was I done reading that other article to y'all? I think I was. No. Oh, okay, here, it's saying something. Sorry. I was gonna move on. I need to have, like, not all these windows open. Haven't been on a few days, and you could tell. So it says the earliest date visible on the bag are the initial BP, Brent Payne. So yeah, and the date 11/14, written over the evidence tape sealing the bag. So it was written on the evidence tape. Hold on. No, it wasn't. No, I can't get this to go. I don't think I can get this to. Oh, I can. Okay, we're zooming. That doesn't say it there. Where does it say pain? BP anywhere? Does anybody see that? I don't see it. Okay. Another signature appears to be from Shannon Arredondo. That's the one that's written. That right there. That's definitely that Arredondo right there. And it says that she's a forensic specialist with the Idaho State Police Crime Lab, signed and date the bag again on November 16th. The label affixed sometime later has 6 recorded exchanges between November 13th and 16th, written by a single pen in similar handwriting, according to Turvey. Oh, let me see that. Oh, son of a bitch, it is. Okay, I'm going to give him that too. I didn't even notice that. I'm going to give you that. I would be fighting this. I would be fighting this too. I'm going to give him this. This is kind of bad. I mean, like, that writing it looks like the Karen Reed signs where they all look the same. One person made them all when they were out there, like, protesting. This is all someone's handwriting, same handwriting. Who wrote this? Now, is there another one underneath of that and they had to write over this because something happened? I mean, I don't think that you would still have to initial something off. This is like police search, I think. That is a little weird. And it's weird if I'm saying it's weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, coming from somebody that has the degree in criminal justice is, I don't know how I didn't notice. I don't know how I didn't notice that before, but yeah, that's not good. Kohlberger's defense team, led by Idaho attorney Ann Taylor, did not pursue his findings before the plea deal. However, Whitcomb said she did respond to Fox News' digital request for comment. Oh, she did not. I thought it said she did. I was like, what? If the paper trail is flawed as alleged, that doesn't necessarily mean investigators botched the case, said Paul Morrow, a retired NYPD inspector. Yeah, I could see that. But what it could point to is that is a vulnerability in the case, so they take a plea. They could have concern about losing a juror on that. Yeah, I would be concerned. I mean, I could see a certain juror being like, that's weird. Especially even if they give a good answer for that, like like it's all documented right here, the reason why we did it. I mean, you never know who you're gonna have on the jury. But what it could point to is that vulnerability. I read that, sorry. It says Morrow, after reviewing images of the evidence bag, said he didn't see a significant problem for the prosecution. Okay. He's a retired NYPD inspector, so I mean, even if it wasn't an evidence bag, let's say this is a deposit form, right? And you work at Poppy and Ari Boutique, my store, right? And this is a deposit form. And we had 5 employees working and 5 different employees that week had to sign because they all closed. So it should be 5 different signatures. It would be something like that. And then you see all the same signature and you'd be like, what happened here? You know what I mean? It would be like, I don't know. That's what I was trying to give you guys I don't think that was a good way to explain it. But that's kind of bad to have all the same signature. And I want to know why. Should we call the police department right now? I mean, we could. Just kidding. Could you see me doing that? Tom, get on up here and call the police department for us. Okay, it says just one element of Koberger's defense that never faced jury scrutiny. And Whitcomb said he reviewed thousands of pages of additional documents that he didn't have room to write about. What? So who showed you those? Turvey? Those thousands of pages? Did you just tell on him? Y'all, man. See, it should have been like Vicky Ward and what's his name again? James Patterson. They just didn't talk. I mean, they talked, but to reporters and stuff, but they didn't talk like this. And they were on the same page. So it says, a second key element in broken plea is speculation surrounding wisp of hair photographed at the crime scene or at least beneath Ethan Chapin's hand. Wisps of hair. How much hair would that be? And how the hell would you see it in a darker room, and he's on the bed? I mean, that's just weird. I don't know. I mean, a wisp of real hair. Let's see. A small, thin, delicate, or untidy lock or strand of hair that is often separated from the main style. Okay. So a thin thread, it says. Where the heck was I reading my hair? Yeah, I mean, they could have photographed, because they probably photographed morning, what was it, 11:30? And they might have even photographed again, like when the coroner was there at like 5:30, because the sun would have been down again. That time of the year in Idaho, it goes down early. Like it goes down at like 5:15 here, and I think it goes down like earlier there. So they could have taken, because I know they took pictures in the house at night, that night, or not that night, the night after. It might have been that night or the night after, because remember Fox got all the pictures of them, taking pictures in the house. So it says here, Turvey, a senior partner at Forensic Solutions LLC, who has testified at more than 70 trials, probably not very many anymore, because you can't be trusted to keep your mouth shut about what you know. Like, that is crazy to me. I would not want to hire him as defense or prosecution witness, like expert witness. It says that found the hair when he traveled to Moscow, Idaho to review evidence in person. So, okay. He's saying he found the hair when he traveled to Moscow, Idaho to review evidence in person. But then it says the FBI lab said Koberger is excluded. This is not his hair. Okay. What'd you do? How? Okay. So you have the picture in your hand, because I mean, those pictures are like seared into my brain, and I only had to look at them once or twice, and I don't need to look at them ever again. But how are you going to, even if it's daylight? Like, I mean, just think, like, a wisp of hair is like, I mean, I guess you could see that, but that's bright lights right here. I mean, I guess they probably have bright lights. Could you see that? Maybe. I mean, I have bright lights on me though, so that doesn't count. If I move back this way just a little bit to where it's not like directly on me, I don't know. And if he did, it could have been, oh, okay. If he did have hair, let's say Kohlberger goes into that room chasing Xana, and let's say that Ethan's in bed and he's like facing the wall or something, and he like goes to wake up, and that's when Kohlberger goes and like does the first stab, right? The first cut, because I think he did two, like there. Maybe he grabbed a hold of the bed, Ethan did, and just, you know how like girls shed, we like shed in bed. Maybe she had some hair and like throughout the bed or something, and he grabbed a hold of that and had it in his hand. And that's the only thing I can think of. Because I mean, it wasn't Kohlberger's hair. I mean, did a girl do this? Is that what we're saying now? Turvy? It says the FBI lab said it wasn't Kohlberger's. Okay. As to who it belongs to, the answer remains unclear. Well, they probably didn't have any hair, like follicle on the, like root. So maybe they couldn't get any DNA. When I saw this information, it changed my perspective on everything. And that's how it started. No, what Com said, describing his motivation to write the book. Okay. So let me see here. Turvey tells him, hey, buddy, I testified at 70 different trials, and this guy, Ethan, has some hair in his hand. And it's long. Or I guess it's long. We don't know. That's just, and that changed his perspective on everything. That's what changed your perspective? So the author is a former member of the FBI's hostage rescue team, an early member of the Bureau's Violent Criminal Apprehension Program. He plays in a band. Why is everybody playing in a band? Spent years as a journalist. I bet he plays the guitar. And congressional speechwriter, and has written a half a dozen other books. Okay. I don't feel it's my place to challenge what Kohlberger told the world. I'm not saying this is a wrongful conviction. He pled guilty. He's a well-educated and intelligent grown man. I mean, I don't even know what people think anymore. So I have a question for the chat. I have a question for you guys, because I know you guys, you mingle around. You know what I mean? You watch the Idaho content. Okay. So people that are out there that are like, Brian Kohlberger is innocent, right? Innocent. And they were riding hard for Ann Taylor, right? Ann Taylor's the best. She's the best. She's Brian's lawyer. What are they saying about this Brent Turvy stuff? Since he came out and spoke, and then I feel like they probably all were like, yeah, but they can't be like, yeah, to Brent when Ann's denouncing him over here, saying like he's not even in his expertise. Like he's talking out his ass pretty much. So it's like, Yeah, female didn't do this, Ladybug. Xana would have kicked her ass, in my opinion. Even if she had a knife, I don't know. I don't think that. I don't know. I just don't. Women don't usually use knives either when they go to kill. They usually use poison, things of that nature. They don't like to, have to clean up a mess. And women think of that. That's what their brains are trained to do, is they just don't want to clean up a mess. Let's see if there's anything else. Jurors never had a chance to weigh in after Kohlberg's unexpected plea last year when he admitted to the November 13th, 2022 murders of Mogan. It says murders of Mogan, but it doesn't say Maddie, but it says everyone else's first name. No, this is so weird. It says Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, and Chapin. Like, it doesn't have Ethan or Maddie's first name. That's weird. Why is every article we read, like, have spelling graphical errors? It says the plea landed in prison for the rest of his life with no chance of parole. But he avoided the death penalty, which means, like, he really just avoided segregation, or not, like, or being segregated from everybody. You know, just but he is right. He probably still is right now. And you know what he hasn't done? He hasn't moved prisons. Can you believe that? Chris McDonough? I don't think there's anything else in this that I wanted to read. It's just like, you know, what's this? Oh, I just talked about this crime scene photos. Says they're not suitable for publication. Whitcomb also obtained access to materials not mentioned in the book, which he told Fox News Digital include images of the evidence bag containing the K-bar sheath, which I just showed you, one with a chain of custody form attached and one without. Put it out. Whitcomb raised a number of issues that Taylor and the rest of Kohlberger's defense team never got a chance to present to a jury. Okay, what were they? Kohlberger pled guilty on July 2nd, admitting to all 4 murders and felony burglary, in a deal that just spared him from the death penalty. Like, I don't know. If I knew I didn't do something, I would take my chance. 12 people, only need 1. Yep, sign me up. Or if I was innocent, I knew I was innocent, right? We'll put it back over here so you have something else to look at. Then, I mean, I don't know. I would probably, I would not plead guilty. I know a lot of people are like, well, you would if the death penalty was, no, I would not. Segregate my ass. I want to be around no prisoners for the rest of my life. I want to be segregated. Just let me sit in my cell, read my books that have half the pages, and let me write my little letters. Let me be like JLR and go sue everybody for the rest of my life. So Kohlberger pled guilty. Read that part. On the night of the murders, he searched Google for local police dispatch audio according to local records tied to the case. He powered off his phone before the murders and turned it back on after them. And he was, that battery was up. While investigators found none of the victim's DNA in his car after they seized it in Pennsylvania, an FBI analyst determined soil on a shovel found inside it matched dirt from the Moscow area. First time hearing that. Huh. Where is the knife? Moscow. So at sentencing, he sat through the victim impact. Okay. Truth be told, I'm unable to come up with anything redeeming about Mr. Kohlberger, Judge Stephen Hippler said at the hearing. Says, why did he take the plea? Turvey asked in a conversation Wednesday. I don't know. I never met him. By design, he does not meet with defendants whose cases he's working on, he said, but he is aware the defense made arguments about Kohlberger's mental health and capacity. He's not mentally ill. I mean, he is, but not in that way. I was going to try to pull this up. Okay. There we go. So I do have this article here. I just don't want this to start playing. Okay. I'll grab my drink. Tom, that's what I said too. Snake River. The ground was too hard, I think, for him to bury, but he might have tried and then got some soil on the shovel and then put it in his trunk. Okay, let me put this. I don't have any chapstick in here, so I'm going to use this lip gloss. Okay. Hey, Crystal. Ladybug said I would not say guilty if I wasn't. Me either. But I know me, I'm extra. Like, I really am. Like, I mean, if something like I would never kill anybody, but hopefully I would never be in a predicament to where it was like a, like they just arrested me for no reason. I would probably throw myself at the mercy of the court. I mean, I would be on the floor. It says, what? How do you know? He was not in a good space to make those kinds of decisions. That he is a 31-year-old grown-ass man. What do you mean? And that was their argument the whole time. So the idea that you would go in and get him to take a plea when he doesn't know anything or know everything, doesn't understand it. Well, that's the problem. You son of a bitch. He understood everything that was presented to him, and he knew every piece of discovery. There is no way that Brian didn't have all the information. Okay? No way. Not with what, no, not with what he went to school for. Nope, not happening. I'm sorry. Okay. So I found this article like the end of last month. I'm a little late on reading it to you, but it's an FBI. Let me see if it says up here. Brian Koberger cut off his digital trail during the Idaho killings, but it helped the FBI catch him. So I thought it was a pretty good article. I just want this to play because it's not really like a video about this. So it says the FBI agent tasked with uncovering the digital footprint of Idaho mass murderer Brian Koberger has revealed for the first time that the killer's calculated efforts to wipe clean his online life played a crucial role in proving his guilt. Okay. Jeff Tanzola, a supervisory special agent in Philadelphia's FBI field office, explained to The Independent this week how large amounts of data, text messages, Google searches, buffer logs, privacy dashboards, battery stats, and usage were missing from Koberger's phone and laptop when those devices landed on his desk in 2023. Damn, we'll never know the Google searches. Man, that's the best part. And they weren't missing by accident. A lot of times when you get a phone, you get a computer, there's a lot of evidence that just jumps off the screen at you. During a panel, Tanzanola said, during a panel moderated by The Independent at the Celebrate C2C User Summit on Wednesday, this is not the case with that. It was the complete opposite of that. It appeared that Koberger, who was arrested a month after the November 13th, 2022 murders of 4 University of Idaho students, discovered stabbed to death in their off-campus home, and would ultimately plead guilty in July 2025, had attempted a digital blackout during the night of the murders. Like, man, should have just left your phone at home, bro. But you took it because you were afraid you were going to get lost, I think, on the way back, because you took that long, weird route, and I think you thought you were going to get lost. It was one of only 4 periods of total inactivity dating back to June 2022. Forensic experts previously reported, but the killer's plan backfired. See, like if he was like a little smarter, he would have started turning his phone off like during his runs with his buddy, the blonde hair kid that he used to run with at night, and then like he would be like, "Yeah, just turn my phone off" or something, Like, I don't know. Could help, I guess. Tanzola, along with 2 forensic experts he enlisted to help, Heather Barnhart, senior digital forensic expert for Celebrate, and Jarrett Barnhart, the married couple, discovered pattern of voids in his otherwise trackable life that appeared in the months leading up to the murders. A deeper dive then revealed some of the tracks the killer had not managed to cover. One of the voids in his digital trail was on the night of the murders. He didn't just lose signal or run out of battery. Jared Barnhart explained this was an actual button press power off on purpose and then a power back on 2 hours later. And in the middle of that, 4 people were killed. Ain't damn the luck, Brian was just like, I'm just sick of life right now. I'm just going to turn my phone off, in the middle of the night. Go look at the stars. The digital evidence was key to showing that the killings were premeditated, the experts have said, and bolstered the DNA evidence from a knife she found with the bodies, which tied Kohlberger to the crime scene. The physical evidence combined with the digital evidence created a strong case that helped form a broader picture prosecutors were prepared to present at trial. That was a lot of P's. But that trial slated for August 2025 in Boise, Idaho would never happen. In July 2025, Kohlberger pled guilty and was sentenced to life in prison, avoiding the death penalty. We know who he murdered. He never explained his motives for the killings. He'll probably keep that for a while. How many years do you guys think it'll take until Kohlberger actually says why he did this? If he ever says it, do you think he'll ever say it? I think he'll say it. Maybe. Oh, shit, I don't know. He might take that to the grave with him. But I mean, he might not. I wonder how he deleted it. And I thought there was always something there. You know what I mean? I'm like, where am I? I have to unpin this because it's all the way back there. Okay. Tanzanola, who is a senior, is that where we're at? Okay. Who is a digital forensic examiner for the FBI and the lab director for the Philadelphia Regional Computer Forensic Laboratory, wasn't called into this case initially for digital forensics, but for tactical operation. Kohlberger was located and arrested on December 30th, 2022 at his parents' home in the area of Tanzanola's operations, which is in the Poconos, Pennsylvania. Probably don't kick in too many people's doors in the Poconos, do you? So ironically, I wasn't notified initially and remembered it was 48 days after the event before we were able to get out there and make the arrest. So a lot of time had lapsed in there. Months later, Tanzola was tasked with checking for evidence on Kohlberger's phone and laptop, but when he began combing through the devices, what stood out wasn't what he found, it was what he didn't. And yet the pressure to find something was high. Now, okay. If they're saying that, he wiped his computer and phone clean of all kinds of shit, right? How do they know because prosecutors were like, well, there's no evidence. Well, I guess they said no evidence that ties him. But I mean, because he probably deleted it. The police were like, there's no evidence that ties him to any of the murder victims. But they didn't say, well, there's evidence that he deleted it though. So, I mean, you tell me. Hey, Wicked Witch in the Midwest, where have you been? We do. Yes, we do. It's good to see you. We actually did a couple nights. I think it was our last live or the live before last one. I think maybe, or it might have been the last one on this channel. Yeah. It says that they, nothing stood out. Says yet the pressure to find something was high. I'm a senior digital forensic examiner, and I wasn't finding what I needed to find. You would think that you'd be able to find remnants on that phone or his computer, but that really wasn't there. Nothing was really jumping off the screen. I wonder if before he came out to Washington, if this was stuff that he studied, how to wipe the computer clean like that. Because they didn't teach me none of that in my criminal justice class. So everyone is looking at you. You're the digital forensic guy, and you have the phone. You're looking at it. Why is nothing there? Oh, yeah, they were probably yeah. So Tanzola sought help from the other FBI investigators at his lab, but to no avail. We still weren't finding anything, so it's always that check and balance just to make sure you're not missing anything. The next step was to reach out to Celebrate, a digital forensic company that provides specialized software for law enforcement, government, and enterprise to unlock, extract, and analyze data. And that's how we got moving, and that's really what I want to portray for this partnership. Oh, they were just at another annual conference. Okay. So more than 900 digital forensics and investigative professionals. Oh, I would like that. From more than 30 countries, gathered in Washington, D.C., where they discussed a wide range of criminal cases and investigative topics. That sounds like something I'd like to do. Celebrite also awarded 20 winners, Justies, as the Digital Justice Awards. During the panel discussion on last night's conference, okay, let's see. Okay, it says that they talked to, a room full of people about the Idaho college murder case and specifically their task of extracting any sort of evidence from Kohlberger's devices was the most unique and difficult case they had worked on. When asked if they had ever worked cases like this, Tanzola replied, "For me, the short answer is no, never." This is I guess this is like this generation's OJ or something, Like for how big? I don't know. Nancy Guthrie's case, all those reporters, that's crazy big. Heather Barnhart said that so many days had passed before the phone was seized that Kohlberger had time to scrub everything from his phone. But what the experts later found was that new searches had appeared and new files saved about the very murders he had just committed. Couldn't help yourself, could you? Why didn't you go to the school computer or something? I mean, they would have looked there, but oh, there he is. Kohlberger had scrubbed his search history in the months leading up to the murders, but photos remained on his phone, and while not incriminating, many of them gave insight into who he was. Many of the photos were selfies that showed Kohlberger giving the camera a thumbs up. Some were of him posing half naked in the mirror while flexing. There was no evidence that he sent these images to anybody. Thank goodness for those people. There were also saved photos of women in bikinis, though Barnhart's previously confirmed that Kohlberger had not taken these himself, just that these were all cache files saved to his device. Okay. Now, were these off of the internet, or were these pictures that he took himself of women in bikinis that they allowed him to take, or were these weirdo pictures where he's at a pool party and he's taking from far away, zooming in? I got questions. Look at his hand. Look at his hand right there too. A little mark on his little knuckle right there. Oh my goodness. Look at that. This one pisses me off so much. If this person was standing in front of me, I'd smack him upside his head. I would. I'm talking about Brian Kohlberger, YouTube. The guy that killed 4 people. Well, I know that he met a couple girls at that pool party, but then it was later on came out the girl said that she just gave him, or she felt or maybe she just gave him her number, or something about one of the girls, her fiance was there. And then the other girl, I think, I don't know. It was just kind of weird how it all played out. Because we had heard that both girls gave him their numbers, no questions asked. And then in the documents, it was saying something different. It was just weird. But that's Brian. Kohlberger succeeded in deleting a massive amount of information leading up to the murders. He was less careful in the 48 days between the killings and his arrest. Really? He deletes everything for months and months and months. And then after he actually commits the murders, he's oh, let's stop deleting some stuff. The team found that he had downloaded PDF files that included official updates on the Idaho murder case from the Moscow Police Department. He also downloaded PDFs and URLs of his research on serial killers. On Christmas into December 26, 2022, just days before his arrest, Kohlberger searched for more than 24 serial killers, including Betty Lou Beats, Randall Kraft, William Lee Cody Neal, Danny Rolling. Wait, isn't Danny Rolling the one that was in Idaho? Oh no, like the one they just killed? Or am I? Or is this a different? No, never mind. Oh, the Gainesville Ripper. Okay. I wonder. No, I don't know. I wonder who that guy's name is. Never mind. Sorry. I had to look him up real quick. I was like, wait a minute. Joel Rifkin, Ted Bundy, Altamino, Sanchez. I don't even know who that is. Glenn Rogers, Carrie Steiner. Okay, I'm not going to read them all, but they're John Wayne Gacy. I guess I should. Harvey Glattman, Paul Bernardino, Rodney Alcala, Robert Hansen, Gary Ridgway, David Parker Ray, Cleophas Prince, Danny Rolling. Why is it on there twice? Okay. Ed Kemper and Dennis BTK Rader. I wouldn't even just call him Dennis Rader. Don't give him his own moniker. Don't give him that. He wants that. He wanted that. He called himself that. Like that. No. That's what he wanted. He wanted to be called BTK. No, we're going to call him Dennis Rader here. We'll call him Rader. When Moscow police put out an alert that they were looking for a white Hyundai Elantra on December 28th, 2022, Kohlberger began shopping online for a new vehicle. Bitch, you can't afford a new vehicle. You ain't got a job. What were you going to get? What was he on, Carvana? Well, get me a new car. Heather Barnhart said Kohlberger's digital trail during those 48 hours proved to be a key mistake because his searches, if they had been shared with the jury, would not have supported his initial claim of innocence. Why need a new car if you just out stargazing? So. But it wasn't a recovered message or hidden file that caused things to click for the forensic experts. It was a pattern. The team had uncovered files scrubbed from devices, searches routed through VPNs, and URLs about serial killers he had downloaded, all of which they say painted a chilling picture of obsession and planning. If you look at it in the timeline, that is normal activity, but then see absolutely no activity for a certain time frame, obviously the time frame around the homicide, then there is activity again. At 2:54 a.m. on November 13th, Brian's phone went dark. The battery hadn't died and it wasn't randomly powered off. It was silenced with precision. That's crazy that they could tell that. Wi-Fi and cellular data was disabled, no location tracking on, and no background activity. A deliberate blackout during the exact window prosecutors say 4 students were killed. 2 hours later, at 4:48 a.m., the phone turned back on. It would be months before investigators fully understood what that gap in activity meant. Look at that. Price sent that picture to his mom. Look at that beautiful background. Looks like a picture. Like it looks like this is his if he was like little, little kid, like 3rd grade picture background. Hey, Betsy. And remember he used to dress in the women's clothing. Oh my God. That's at his mom's house. You could just tell by that furniture. Look at him. He looks like shit. Look at his eyes. Look like he hadn't slept. I mean, imagine being his mom and like you look at your kid and you're like, you look tired. You need to take a nap. But even defining Kohlberger's normal behavior proved unsettling. When you said normal activity, he was not normal. He only had like 16 contacts. Well, I have a lot more than that, but that I don't talk near. I talked to one person probably. And those included general numbers, including AT&T, customer service, and maintenance. So he did not have friends. He did not chat with people. He had hour-long conversations with his parents. So it felt weird on where is where. So it also felt weird on where is the normal. On December 29th, the day before his arrest, Kohlberger began calling and texting his parents obsessively, just as he had on the morning of the murders. If his mom didn't answer, he'd call his dad. I wonder why. I wonder if the day before his arrest, what if he knew it was coming? I wonder if he saw people in the area, like, because they had the house across the street or beside him. One of those houses they went in and took over, like the FBI did. And they were surveilling him. But I wonder if he noticed something, right? Like just in the air, I don't know. Like you grow up in a certain area your whole life, you just know like everything's usually calm as the Poconos, like gated community. Maybe like I don't know what he could have heard. Maybe he heard like a walkie-talkie go off or something, and he was just like, the same day, Kohlberger searched terms like paranoid, psychopath, and wiretapping. Well, look at that. It was obviously weighing on him. Complicating matters further was Kohlberger's background as a criminology PhD student. Okay. Kohlberger had long been immersed in the study of crime, but according to the digital forensics team, his interest crossed a line from academic to obsessive. He didn't just Google these cases. He downloaded full PDFs of case files. Guilty, but we talk about him. Not once, but repeatedly, he was downloading detailed reports on serial killers, including Danny Rolling, who also murdered college students using a similar knife. We did go over Danny Rolling and him. We did side by side. We did a comparison of the two. This wasn't casually browsing. This was meticulous research. Oh, these were all the pictures. Oh yeah, because remember he was like watching some like people like the people that like the brain people. What was it? Getting the body language people are here. The Killer Speaks. That's A&E. Oh shoot! I wonder if that one show's on here from that I was telling you guys he's going to be on. It's like that one. What is it called? See No Evil. Just crazy. Very crazy. To determine exactly what happened during that 2-hour window on the night of the murders, the Cellbrite team recreated the digital environment and studied call logs. Turning off your phone isn't enough. You have to disable Wi-Fi, disable cellular, then power down. And that's what he did. Wow. They discovered that in the days right before and right after the murders, Kohlberger disabled Wi-Fi access to his devices and routed his traffic through NordVPN, a tool designed to anonymize online activity. While the act is not criminal, it is abnormal. He was diligent in prep and cleanup, and he made our job really hard. This is someone who tried really hard to not be detected. It made it more difficult to extinguish intent from academic curiosity. So he had stuff on his phone that could be kind of devious, I would say, but could also be easily explainable as research for his doctoral program. Yeah, don't come looking at my computer. As the team continued their investigation, signs of an intensive digital cleanup emerged in Kohlberger's devices. While the digital evidence didn't deliver a specific aha moment, the team said it painted a picture of sinister intent and a great deal of planning. Yeah, I mean, he planned this. When did he get the knife? Like May or something? I mean, yeah. I think, and I've been saying this, I think he thought he was going to come out here to Washington or go out to Washington. I'm in Ohio. Go out to Washington and no one would know him. You know what I mean? He has no friends. No one knows him. And then, I mean, his dad he might even been mad at his dad for like trying to get him to be friends with the Christian guy or Christian guy be friends with him. He could have been like, Dad, I'm trying to be like laying low because like I bought this K-bar knife. And then he might have been planning it I think he was planning it before he left, but that's just me. Because and I think he used a knife because when he was younger, he was fired and he was kind of told that he wasn't good with one. Hey, you can't fillet a fish, dude, and you're not good with the customers. Gotta let you go. He was like young too when he lost that job. That's bad. If I was like 16 and I lost a job because I wasn't personable with customers, I think my parents would have sat me down and had a real long conversation with me, like, been like, "What's going on with you? Why are you acting up?" I think it was little moments that kinda came together. His hard drive was glaringly absent, and for me, that was weird. So there were so many things that just gave me doubt, but I think all of that cleanup, what are you hiding? Okay, yeah. This wasn't someone who just snapped. This was someone who planned. He didn't accidentally stumble into this house and commit this heinous crime. It was intentional. There wasn't a single smoking gun, but we found the digital evidence told the story of preparation. Despite their exhaustive efforts, the forensic team were left with many questions, something they badly wanted to provide the grieving families. I mean, that's because they usually can. I mean, just think about Alec Murdaugh's case. They knew when he was like put his seatbelt on, I mean, they knew every turn, every break, everything because he had that brand new car. Okay, read through all that. I think ultimately we want to see the subjects being held accountable for their crimes. I'm confident that he was the subject. Okay, yeah, subject, but you don't know what the jury's going to say. Yeah, you sure don't. Tanzola noted that while there was pressure to find out more about the killer on his devices, a pressure to bring a solid case to trial, there was also the looming pressure of being on the stand. There's also pressure with being put on this hot seat on the stand, because you don't want to be the one up there that either says something that turns the case in the wrong direction, even though I'm confident that we have the evidence. It says for Tanzola, the biggest takeaway wasn't about what was or was not on the phone. It was the hard work, the corroboration, and the fellow investigators and the Cellbrite team. Okay, no, that's not. That's not the biggest takeaway. What do you mean? The biggest takeaway is what? I mean, the biggest takeaway here is that we all work together as a team. No, it's not. The biggest takeaway is you put a murderer behind bars. I mean, even if he pled guilty or not. We wanted to make sure we uncovered every stone. How do you say that? Looked at everything and made sure that we understood what the answers were. So I think we brought together the best case forward with the evidence that we had. You didn't really have to bring a case, you know? And welcome in everybody. If I didn't say hello to you. If you guys don't mind, will you hit the like button for me? It really helps. I appreciate it. Okay, we read that. Let's see what we got. Oh, so you know how earlier in the live, Brent Turvy said someone asked him for comment after he's already came out and helped write the book, whatever. And he's like, no, I can't do that. Can't give you a comment. That would break the my confidentiality with Ann Taylor or my NDA or whatever. Which she had come out and put that statement out that said, we're writing, about the recent statements made by Brent Turvy. Like she came out and called him out by name. She was mad, in my opinion. I mean, for her to do this, she didn't have to technically do anything. He's not going to get an appeal. So, she's probably going to be moving on with her life. So, I don't know, for her to be to say that it says Mr. Turvey has not been released from his confidentiality agreement and is now speaking about topics that are still confidential, many of which are outside of his areas of expertise. So when people were pushing back on him, his response was that he denied breaching any confidentiality, stating that his comments were based on information already in the public domain or provided in discovery. What? No, they weren't. No, there wasn't. No. Oh, you were not what you've been saying. You went completely. You're a crime scene guy. That was what you're supposed to be in this case, anyway. Crime scene. That's what you're supposed to be focusing on. You know, not everything, but. And you weren't supposed to be talking to anybody. You dummy. Like you. I mean, I just think that's so unprofessional. Like, I mean, that's so unprofessional. If like I was ever, there are two people now, almost, there's two people that if I was either a lawyer for the defense or the prosecutor, I would not have these two people in my courtroom. And as Brent Turvy, because you can't trust him. He will like do some like crazy stuff and probably take your crime scene photos, leak them or something. That person and Dorothy from Letitia Stauch's trial, the woman that gave a minute 30-second answer to a yes and no question, every question for 3 days or something. Her, I would not allow her. I don't care if Ted Bundy gave her his last kiss or not. You know, it's gross. You're weird. But he said he justifies his public speaking by calling it an extraordinary case with extraordinary types of exculpatory evidence that were not being brought to light. How biased is that? You're supposed to be unbiased. That's like when you're a witness for the state or you're for the defense, you're expert, you are not supposed to have any bias. You're supposed to let the evidence tell you. But we can clearly see that you have some biases here. Let's read a little bit about, okay, let's read his little thing here. What's this actually? Oh, this is for, he put his People magazine article in there. Hold on a second. Let me see something. Okay. I'm just checking something like, damn, I have a lot of stuff up that we don't need. I was just seeing if he was right. Okay. I think we read this article before, but this is his LinkedIn. And it just says this article accurately describes my findings in this case, but omits the essential evidentiary foundation. Of note, People magazine received my report and did not reach out for comment. However, they did accurately quote the prosecutor, who was unable to disagree with the majority of my findings. Okay, we'll see if the prosecutor said that he quoted, he was unable to do that. So it says here, the bodies of Maddie Mogan and Kayla Gonzalez were possibly posed by Brian Koberger after he stabbed the two to death. Evidence at the scene, including the spread of Gonzalez's blood across the pillow, supports this theory, unless she was in the middle of getting stabbed and moved. Like, that's what people would do. Evidence at the scene, including the spread of Gonzalez's blood across the pillow, supports this theory that was first posted by a defense expert. Koberger stabbed Gonzalez at least 24 times in the face and Mogan 13 times in the face before both died of multiple sharp force injuries. She was stabbed like 28 times and Kayla was stabbed like 38. So, okay. Autopsy reports for Kaylee and Maddie support the notion that Brian Koberger posed the two young women together after their brutal murders, according to the newly unsealed filings from the prosecutor for the case of the 2022 quadruple murders in Moscow. Brent Turvy, the crime scene expert, Dr. Brent Turvy, the crime scene expert for the defense, first All right, I read this, didn't I? Posted this theory after reviewing the autopsy reports according to the filing. The evidence suggests that after both victims were killed or unresponsive, that they were poised in their shared bed. Kaylee was moved from a position with her head on her pillow to partially atop of Madison. Then the comforter was placed over them both. Turvey said of the crime scene, according to the filing. The theory was based on the location of Gonzalez's blood on the pillow, which prosecutors had argued did not support that the bodies were posed, only that they moved. Yeah. Prosecutors called Turvey's theory a possibility, but not a determination, noting in the filing that the blood could have spread because Gonzalez moved during the attack or after suffering a blow to the head. Furthermore, argued prosecutors, it would be impossible to know what the true intentions of the killer were, even if the two were moved. The two girls were in Mogan's room and sharing her bed as Gonzalez had moved out of the house and was visiting for the weekend. The autopsy report determined that both young women died from multiple sharp-forced injuries, with Mogan suffering 28 stab wounds and Gonzalez being stabbed at least 38 times. Additional contributors to Gonzalez's death, including blunt force injuries of the head and asphyxial injuries. There were also punctures on the outer table of the skull, injuries to the teeth and tongue, and a hemorrhage into the chest cavities, according to the filings. It was also noted that neither of the girls had blood on the bottoms or tops of their feet, indicating they were not upright or moving about the area at any time during the attack. Well, obviously, but you could roll over, or you can move upward, Oh, goodness. Oh, that's Brent Turvy. So I was reading through these little the ethics, just ethical framework for this kind of stuff, for expert testimony. It must not be taken lightly. Okay. And then it gives the qualifications. And then it doesn't, give you, it doesn't say you have to have this, and this, but you do have to have, you have to know what you're talking about. And this is posting on social media. What may seem an offhanded social media comment can be decontextualized or otherwise used to indicate a bias. Dr. Kanitha Shelk recommends caution. Be thorough and very careful about what is stated. I apply that across my life, so you will not see me on any of the social media platforms or even jokingly sitting with friends saying anything that could come back to bite me. Even without bias, opinions may change over time as new information and better methodologies develop. Expert Stroud recommends pointing this out when asked about discrepancies. He states, I keep my social posts to a minimum because some lawyers have said, Terry, do not put anything on social media that you are not ready to defend. I do have some blogs that I put on LinkedIn or my website, but I am careful about that because as you get older or things progress, what your opinion is today may not be what it is 10 years ago. So don't be having no internet. Don't be getting on YouTube. And that should probably be on there. I mean, seriously, YouTube. Don't get on YouTube. So 15 people can review your words, because they will. They'll review your words and they'll twist them and they'll turn them and they'll put them in the way they want them to fit. It says here, conflicts of interest and personal bias, prior involvement with the party, probably not going to be any more. Financial ties, ain't going to have any more. Personal connections. Appearances matter. Even when an expert is fully capable of making a neutral, informed opinion, if there is even a potential conflict of interest, ethics may require turning down engagements. Similarly, a personal conflict may arise due to your own opinion of the case. It says that you have to know when to say no. Attorney pressure. Yeah, I mean, you could have attorney pressure. Like, can you say, "Can you say this for me?" That would be bad. Um, while it is acceptable to choose an expert whose opinion aligns with the needs of the client, it's never permissible for an attorney to influence that opinion. I wonder about the, like, not the attorney, but the client was I mean, I doubt Brian was talking to any of these people, but he could have been. Oh, you think Kayla was? I think that it was Maddie. I thought Kaylee for in the beginning, like, I would say, like, maybe a month or 2, 3, maybe. So did I read this? I think I read this, so I can exit out of that. What's this over here? Oh, that's Alec Murdoch stuff. That's Alec Murdoch stuff. And then I have stuff to show you guys on another live about Caleb Flynn because there's freaking updates in his case. Can you believe that? Okay. We read the LinkedIn. We read everybody's seen the Ann Taylor, this, this cover sheet or this letter, I mean, she was pissed. Rightfully so, right? You hire these expert witnesses, and I'm sure they spend a lot of time together, right? Going over the case, going over the discovery. What are you going to say in court? How are you going to say it? What my questions are going to be to you? Like, the things, because they were heading towards the trial. So for him to, like, kind of be like, F you to Anne and be like, hello, Mr. Whitcomb, you're writing a book. Let me give you all my crap that I know. I mean, I don't think he's going to be working with Ann Taylor again. Yeah. Well, I think that Asget's new animation is, like, spot on. Like, it literally shows you how those, like, little blood spots would have been, on the half wall, how they would have gotten there, how the cups would have ended up the way they were on the beer pong table, which when we played beer pong is like when last time I played was like, I mean, I was in my 20s, so it was a long time ago, right? Let's say 20 years ago. But when we played, we were gross. We put beer in our drink. We didn't put water. Like, the kids are smart now, okay? They fill it with water because you don't want dirty beer, like, because the balls get dirty. We didn't care. We just put straight beer in there. Did anyone else do that? Or did y'all always use water? Because when I first saw that, my mind was kind of blown. I didn't see that first time in Idaho, but no, when I first did see that, I was like, wow, So Maddie told Adam that Kaylee wanted to get back with her ex-boyfriend. Oh, did she? Oh, well, there you go. She did a great job. You used water, PJ? See? Oh, I guess everyone drinks something different. It's true. We didn't. We were poor. We're all drinking the same shit. Natty. You used beer, Betsy? That's right, Betsy. Hardcore right there. Yeah, I don't know why would we do that? Why would we be that smart? we were smart. We were smart at, like, not getting caught drinking, I guess. That we were, I was good at sneaking back in my house. That's about all I was good at. My mom could have beat me like, as a kid. Like, I broke into the house so many times. And of course it wasn't like the proper way to break into a house, there's not a proper way, but it wasn't through a door. It was always through the window. And then, like, the screen had those locks, but they're on the inside. So I had, like, these 2 little holes I put in each one. I played it. I wasn't about to pick up some whiskey when I drink beer. Yeah. I drink beer and whiskey. I think, what's Jim Beam? Like, is that whiskey? I don't even know what that is. That's all I would drink. That's bourbon, right? I mean, it's just it's bad alcohol. It's cheap alcohol. I don't think it was really that. Didn't feel that cheap though. Straight bourbon, 80 proof. Man, I didn't mess around. I didn't. And I drank it straight. Bud Light and Jim Beam straight. Not chilled. Don't ice it. Don't chill it. I'll throw up if they would do that. Like, no, straight. That's very weird, but I could do that. I was, I don't know. I was able to drink a lot. Like my brother could drink so much and not even feel it, not feel it at all. Like just be fine. Like I remember I was young. It was before I could drink, and we were cooking out, and we're 9 years apart, and he just like chugged a bottle of like fire water, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like dying, and he's like, I don't care. And then he just like walked back to cooking steaks. I was like, he's not falling over. Yeah, I like Asget's videos. Actually, let's go see if she has a new one up yet. Because she said she's gonna, I think, put another one up. Let's see here real quick. So we do have some updates in the Caleb Flynn case. He's not going to court for a little while. Remember how I said I wasn't going to go to the last hearing because it was just going to be the attorneys talking? It was. So we'll have to go over that. Who the heck was I looking up? No, I can't remember what I was going to look. I was looking at someone up. Oh, good night. It was good to see you, Wicked. You had a fake ID? I never had a fake ID. I think that I lived in a small town. Yeah, they would have been like, Tanya, get home. Like, go home. Your brother's in there. No, my brother never went to the bars. I don't think he ever did. No, he didn't. Wasn't a bar guy, which was, I mean, that's good. But yeah, man, oh yeah, I drank the Jim Beam. The Jim Beam, yeah. And I would make my friends drink it with me. And they were like, really? We don't want to take a shot with you. I'm like, well, I don't want to take a shot with you. The thing that was popular was those something apple or something like that. What were those stupid drinks called? Washington apples. Oh my God. If you don't like to drink, that's your friend, not my friend. I don't like them. Southern Comfort and Bud Light, see? And cheap tequila. Oh, see, I couldn't do tequila. I still can't. I drank it like 8 years ago, and I was never so hungover in my life. It was bad. Really, Tom? Oh my! I can't believe it. People actually know. I thought that I could. If you wouldn't have said that you've had one, I would have thought that was a Chillicothe thing because I never got out of that town. We always had like beer, but we always had like vodka, like a handle of vodka from the gas station. Like, oh god, oh, you know what I'm talking about? Like Comanche, it's like some weird name. I can't even remember it, but Washington apples, that's how they get you when you're 21, you know? They're like, drink a bunch of these. And I'm like, okay. Got sick on those. Never drank another one. I was like, I'll never drink it. That's when I started drinking Jim Beam. And then I mean, like, I wouldn't drink that now, ever. Oh my gosh. I haven't had a drink of alcohol in it'll be 4 years this Thanksgiving. And it was literally a half a beer, maybe, at my brother's house. Yingling and Florida teas. Oh, I have to see. I don't know what a Florida tea is. Hey, Marcella. We're getting ready to, I'm getting ready to go, and see one of my friends. She's getting ready to move to Louisiana. Like, she's like do you guys have like your comfort people? Like, maybe it's your mom, it's your dad, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's your child or whatever. Like, she's like, other than Vincent, she's like my comfort person. Like, she's the one person other than Vincent that Vincent can call if like there's something wrong or something goes with me, and she will be like, I know Ashley, my best friend, would be there too. Like, there's just something about Misty. And I'm really sad. She is my person. I'm so sad she's moving all the way to Louisiana. And I'm so happy for her because, oh my Chillicothe's a horrible town. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm so happy for her and her children, and I'm really happy for her and her children. But um, I can always go down there, you know? So I am gonna go visit her before she leaves. I wanna do like a whole, like, I don't just like just do everything that we used to do like when we were younger. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like a little town, we can just walk around. And then I'll stay down there like the night or something. Your sisters are yours. Oh, since your husband passed, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just love her. Like I haven't like had to call her in a long time, but I had to call her probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. The scariest night of my life. I thought I was dying. I literally thought I was dying. I was like, "Call Misty." Like, because Vincent couldn't help me. I was like, "Call Misty, call Misty, call Misty." Like, I didn't know what to do. And I called her and she helped me out. She's like, she's a mom. You know, she's got like that instinct to help. And like, I don't know. I love her. Yeah. It's gonna be hard, but she's moving into a beautiful, like, they're like redoing the house and everything. I'm like, yeah. Long Island's, oh gosh. I don't like sour. But I've been drunk on those. Man, it's been a while since I've been drunk. I don't know. I would probably have like a beer and have a buzz. Probably. Yeah. But the thing is, you can after you just drink for a couple of days again, like you can always get back into it. And that's why I don't do it. That's how I am with tequila, Marcella. Last time I drank tequila, Vincent was on the phone with me. I don't remember, but I guess everybody that walked by, I was like, "What are you looking at?" And I was like yelling at them. He was like, "You were yelling at those people." Like he had to come get me. He had to come take me out of the bar. I was out with a girlfriend. We had a couple too many what were the White Claws at the pool, and then we went to the bar and drank tequila shots. And I don't drink. Yeah, that was fun. There was so much stuff I was going to talk to you guys about on the other channel, but I have some funny stuff to tell you guys over there. So make sure that you got your notifications on for this channel and for the second channel, because man, people are wilding out on YouTube, and it's just getting nuts. I should read the book. Well, I kind of went over, I think, a little bit of everything that he said. Those were his own words. What did I miss? I don't pay attention to other creators, if that's what you mean. So you're gonna have to be more specific. More specific on what did I leave out of this 2-hour live? And yeah, let me know. And welcome in. Because I'll go over it. Whatever I missed. I don't mind. I don't mind. Vincent's probably sleeping anyway. I can't blow him up this late. I gotta go and work out tomorrow morning. But I am gonna allow myself to wake up at any time that I want tomorrow. Because I usually wake up and go to the gym super early. But yeah, I think I got everything. I tried. Also, I was gonna read you this thing, but I forgot. So I'm gonna drop this in the chat for you guys if you want to read it. It is from a retired, from 32 years experience, forensic investigator, and he just talks about the case. I'm gonna put this in the chat in case you guys want to read that later. 4-day vacation and stayed off YouTube except to watch a few home up. I bet it was nice, PJ. It's been crazy out here. It's been crazy. What's it? What happened? That was oh. Okay, I'm saving that for the other channel. But okay, if I shouldn't listen because I don't know. I hear things with a different brain than like a different head than some other people do. Or I don't know. But PJs, we're at there's just so much. For one, though, Brittany didn't go to court today. She was supposed to. She was busy doing a live. I said, "Oh my god, she's out of control." And then there was another creator, didn't know what something was, and it was just kind of like, you don't what? Everyone in the world knows what that is. Like, I don't know. It was just it's just been crazy. I was just because I've been driving, so I've been driving the last 3 days. An hour and a half, like an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes one way and back. So 3 hours I've been driving each day. And then I'm in the hospital. So where did I go? Oh, so on Monday I went and I surgery. And I'll tell you about that on the second channel too. That went really, really well. And then Tuesday, where the hell did I go yesterday? Oh, wait, it told me right here. MRI. I had 2 of those. And everything, look, I'm here. I did have some abnormalities, or however you say it. Some abnormal parts of the test. And my spine surgeon said I'm okay, but she knows my back's curved and everything. But it said on there that I looked it up, like whatever it's, I forget what it said, like that I have. It means that your back starting, it wasn't good. It was like they're starting to rub almost in like a couple spots. But it said that like this happens in people that are 60 or older. I'm like, what? I didn't see the turtle. Oh, look up here. I didn't see those. Oh, thank you, princess. Look at that. I love that. That one's a kitty. I have to look down. Oh, look at that one. Thank you. I have to look on the iPad. I think you can look on Stream or not StreamYard. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna start sending those. Those look like fun. Thank you, Marcella. Those are fun. What the hell's happening here with these emojis? So, Tom, you can buy like emojis now. I think it's like I saw it on someone else's channel too. It's like you go down to, oh, look at that. You can see them on the screen now. I can see them now on this one. I love that. I should just start streaming from this screen, but I'm not used to it. That's the only thing. Like, it's just the YouTube screen. I think most people like do the YouTube, and I do StreamYard, so I don't know. I'm different. Oh, you don't have like a little, I think it's like the money thing at the bottom, and then it's not super stickers. Is it super stickers? Yeah, wait. No, that's not it. Super stickers, super chats are something different. Well, won't let me do it, I think, because it's my channel. Oh, maybe over here. Oh, wait, right there. It's a little gift box. So it's a little present. That's what it is. It's a present beside the money sign. I see it now. Look at that. Thank you. Thanks, princess. Thanks, Marcella. That was very nice of you guys. Those are cute. Man, that get me sidetracked. If anyone needs to get my attention, are those expensive? Let me see. They always tell you to put the bomb things in there. Put the bomb things in there. They're free. But like that thing gets your attention. I just need to put this over here. I like that. That's cute. That's really cute. Hola, hola, Tom said. Oh, you don't have one simply? I wonder why. I wonder if it's like an Apple thing or like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Oh, you don't either, Crystal? Do you guys have Apple's phones? Maybe it's an Apple, like an iPhone thing or something. I wonder. I don't have another phone or they use gyms. Yeah, I like the gym. I like the gyms. That's how I call Vincent's dad's name. I don't know why I say it like that. His name is Jim. I say Jim, I say it different. Oh, that's really cute though. It's kind of like TikTok in a way, you know? Yeah, it might have been. It might have been with, like, an update. Oh, wait, why didn't hold on a second. Hold up. Where'd she go? Wait, hold up. Lady that I forget your name that came in that you've never been in my chat before. Bezo Jones. Hey, Bezo, where's your Bezo, where'd you go? Bezo, how's Bezo gonna drop, like how is Bezo gonna drop a comment like this and then not even stick around when I ask her what I missed? They do it every time. Even in the comment section. Like, someone will give me their whole life story, and I don't read it because I'm not gonna do that. If the first few letters or first few like, the first sentence is like, "I hate you," I'm not I'm not reading the rest. I'm not doing it. Really, princess? That's cute. I don't know why I say his last name like that. My ex called me the shit Android. I don't like Android. I'm not good at I'm not good at, like, Android or even like, the like, regular computers now other than MacBooks because 'cause they're all different. They're just different up at the top. But, we will go over Caleb Flynn's case on a live. Be sure to check me out over on Unfiltered. I'll be over there, yelling and screaming. I have some stuff to say about just a couple things. Just a couple things. Just things I see. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. The things that happen on this app. My favorite thing is like when people are like, maybe I'll show up at your door. Well, maybe you should. They don't say it's me, but because I would welcome it. They wouldn't. What is a bezo anyway? I don't know. At first, I thought it said benzo. I mean, that could have been more. Let's see what a bezo is. What is a watch? It's probably like something bad. Having me put this in. It's probably some like racial slur or something. Oh my gosh, what is it? It's the reoccurring flying enemy species in the Super Mario video game franchise. We could have been best friends, Bezo. Bezo. We could have been best friends. Do you know how good I am at regular Nintendo NES? Yeah. I used to take kids' money. As an adult, they were younger. I ain't lying to you either. So, yeah, hit the chat button, please. Or the chat. Hit the like button, please. The chat button. People are very aggressive on YouTube right now, Marcella. It's just like, I'm just over here laughing. Like, I saw a video earlier and someone was like, I'm going to come to your house. And I was like, she ain't going to. I was like, she ain't going to. I put on the comment, she ain't going to. Oh, did you guys hear? If you guys were following the Corey Richards case, she got life without parole. So yeah, there's that. And she wanted her kids to talk to her, and her kids do not want to. I do. I bully people. I bully kids, and I bully kids. Yeah, just kids. Yeah, they used to come over to my friend's apartment, and they thought they could beat me. And I was like, I will play all 32 levels in the first world before you can even hit level 2. And I would do that because Tom, my dad got me a Nintendo when I was a kid. My brother didn't want to play with me for some reason. I don't know why. So I always played with this guy, Johnny from the neighborhood. And he was very, like, not mildly mentally handicapped. He was, he was, he had a very big disability. Or, I don't like saying handicap. I don't even like saying disability. He was quirky. And so he would come over every morning at 7 in the morning on the weekend. And he didn't know how to knock, which was fine, but he knew how to pound, like the police. And he would be screaming. He wanted to play Nintendo. And so my dad let him in. My dad would play with him until I woke up, and then I come down and I play with them. And then his mom bought him one. She finally bought him his own NES. And poor Johnny. Johnny thought his NES needed cleaned. If you know where the story's going, it is. He put it in the bathtub. He put it in the bathtub, and then he was back to my house playing again. Stealing lunch money. Mhm. You know? Yeah. Steals their lunch money, I try to do that. Yeah. They get they'll get something to eat. I mean, they're fine, they're kids. They're resilient. Jay was I saw about that. Tonight so, okay, simply because she did do, like, YouTube Bad Actors, I don't know if you know who that is, but they have a channel and like, post Gray Hughes, like, content all the time, like, not all the time, but when they want to, and it'll be really funny, like, it's just, like, great clips of him, like, yelling at his audience or, "I need money, I need this," "My channel, I'm gonna shut my channel down," or whatever, and, she went over the clips that YouTube Bad Actor had. So now I wow. So now they're, like, in like, because I mean, I said I laughed at her the other day, and she didn't like that. And I was like, "Okay, I will never laugh again." "Hey, Lorna." "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your sister. I'm so sorry." Oh, he went off about her? Oh, we'll have to play it on the live tomorrow. I'm gonna go over there and make sure I clip it. Great. Did he just do it on his live? Or he's live right now? So is he doing it did he do it while he's covering Nancy Guthrie? Oh, he's not very nice. Okay, he's kind of boring. I was trying to see where he was yelling at her. I might have went back too far. Someone will have to send me the timestamp. Oh, she was watching it this morning or actually oh, okay. Well, welcome in. Sorry I'm late. We're about to get off here now. And I'm really sorry about your loss, Lorna. Couldn't imagine losing a sibling, you know? Well, I think that, Gray probably maybe needs to take a day off or something, but he can't, you know? I've been taking days off. I mean, if you noticed, I have to. I mean, I'm just like, by the time I've been really trying to like get myself back into shape and whew, y'all, by the time I work out, I am so tired. I overdo it, I think. I know I do. I do 3 miles on the treadmill and I'm almost going at a pace where like the same pace that I did in high school. Pat on myself on the back. It might be 3 minutes more, but hey, it's still really good. So, oh, that'd be fun, Tom. We could do that if you could get a Nintendo, because I have a Nintendo, and then we could go panel, and then someone could watch your TV, and then I could have mine on my TV, like facing the TV. I would beat you. I would. I was just reading the chat. I want to. Oh, him and his. Ooh, ooh she was probably letting him have it. No, but she was probably yeah. What? Oh, we'll have to go over. I'll have to see that. That's just funny. I'll have to tell her I'm not watching it to make fun of you, girl. I was only laughing because he called her a subject. If you didn't see, I used Joseph Scott Morgan on my thumbnail a few nights ago, and I just laughed because I did it like a month ago. You know, I'm like I wasn't like laughing about that. I was laughing because he said subject. He kept saying subject. I'm like, stop. Like, that's so crazy. It's like funny, but it's, crazy at the same time. Well, I hope everybody has a good night. It looks like the YouTube streets are kind of slowing down, maybe. Yeah. I was going to see if there's any Unsolved Mysteries is playing, 24/7 like they do. That's probably what I'll go watch. Yeah, and then I will talk to you guys on this channel tomorrow or on the other channel, at least one of them. But probably both. And then, I forgot to tell you guys, because I'll tell y'all everything. Next Sunday, if anyone wants to kidnap me, that'll be the time. Vincent's he's going to Vegas without me, of course. It's for work. So it'll be me, the dogs, the cats, and you guys. You'll be here with me the whole time. I will be hanging with y'all. I don't know. I'm literally will probably put my webcam on to my computer and just scoot it around the house on one of these desks that I have. So, yeah. Oh, beautiful purple casket. Oh. Is he? Oh, I don't know if he is. Wish I was going to CrimeCon. I can't afford it this year. Maybe next year. Better get there. I better get there next year because I'm ready to carry around my Nancy Grace cardboard cutout and go meet her. If not, we're going to have to send me down to South Carolina. I'll have to go down there for the Alec Murdaugh trial and be like, Nancy. She was there like every day of it last time. So, okay. Well, I'll be on tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good night. If Bezo, whatever her name is, comes back, comment below what I missed. But thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, guys.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna